this industry. So we're going to talk about the second I, the right information. I'm going to give you that today. I hope you get the inspiration that you need today. But the third I is the right level of implementation. And that's where a lot of people struggle. Sometimes we have the right inspiration. Sometimes we don't. And then we get that and we take off. Some people have the right level of inspiration, but they don't have the right information. It's not been laid out in a way that they can see the vision and run with it. And then there's some people that have the right inspiration and the right information, but they struggle with implementation. I'm going to share with you how I can help you with that as well. If you're having struggles implementing, struggles with belief, your confidence, consistency, overcoming procrastination, I'm going to share with you how we can help you with that as well today. But when you have all three I's, the right level of inspiration, the right information, and the right level of implementation, you become unstoppable. You become that same person with the same story I have, where you're able to take yourself from 0 to 500 to 1,000 a month or more, to 500 to 1,000 a week or more, and then to 6 figures and beyond. So if you're ready, in the chat, type I'm ready, and we're going to go ahead and get started with our first session. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is context, the right context. How to understand what it is that we're actually building. And some of you, you may already have this in place, but I guarantee you, the majority of people coming behind you struggle with this. Like, what exactly am I building? If you heard me earlier, I shared how when I got started, even though I was surrounded by amazing trainers and amazing leaders and people who were already winning, I was still confused. I found myself confused. I found myself feeling overwhelmed. I found myself wondering what to do, or what to do first, or what to do next, right? And so a lot of people, that slows them down. It's like building a jigsaw puzzle. I speak a lot about putting together a jigsaw puzzle. If you don't know what it's supposed to look like from the beginning, you can spend a lot of energy trying to put the pieces together. And it doesn't mean it's impossible. You can still put together a jigsaw puzzle without knowing exactly what it's supposed to look like. Because you can start with the corner pieces and put those in place, and you can put the colors together and put them into neat little piles, and then see which pieces fit together. And all of a sudden this piece fits together, and then another one, and then another one. And the more pieces you put together, you start to see a picture of what you're building. But it can take you a long time if you don't see the cover of the box to begin with. How many know that if you know exactly what it's supposed to look like, you can more quickly start putting the puzzle together without wasting time? And one of the reasons why it took me so long, one of the reasons why it takes a lot of people longer than necessary to break through to their next level, is because they're spending so much time trying to figure out what they're building to begin with. Say me in the chat if you can relate to that yourself, or you've seen it with your team members or those around you. If you've ever had that struggle, I'm going to help you. Don't worry. I'm going to lay a foundation so crystal clear and so solid. I want you to think of it like a franchise system that never changes. It's never changed in the past 5 years. It never changed before I came into the industry. It hasn't changed since I entered the industry, and it won't be changing afterwards. When you get the principles, now technology changes, right? Things like COVID can take place and cause us to change where we implement the system, whether it's in person or virtual. But the fundamentals never change. And the first thing I want to lay out for you all in the Network Marketing Bootcamp is how to lay a rock solid foundation that never changes, so that you can be confident in what you're building, and you can transfer that confidence to those coming behind you, and they know exactly what they're building too. So instead of taking a year, 2 years, 3 years, like it took me to get the full picture, what if you could start from day one implementing? It still might be a 3 to 5 year retirement plan for you from the time you really start building. For some, it takes longer, some do it faster. But I would say just start the journey with that 3 to 5 year retirement plan in mind. And to give yourself time. Here was my attitude when I got started. If I was willing to dedicate 4, 5 years or more to going to college, to learn how to get gainfully employed, so I could work paycheck to paycheck for the rest of my life and accumulate possibly a lot of debt in the process. How many know most people are willing to do that? That's what we've been taught to do. Most people are willing to invest 4 or 5 years of their life or more, go into debt to learn how to become gainfully employed and hopefully get a good job, for the next 20, 30, 40 years, but still not have freedom. And so I had a conversation with myself as the born CEO of Coach Fard Bell Incorporated. We're all born CEOs of our lives, of our business. And I said, if I'm willing to do that, to live paycheck to paycheck, how much more am I willing to invest 3, 4, 5 years to become financially free? If you knew for a fact you could be free for the rest of your life over the next 3 to 5 years and create generational wealth, and you can do it part-time, starting part-time, and slowly go from 500 to 1,000 a month to 500 to 1,000 plus per week to 6 figures and beyond, would it be worth carving out a few hours a week over the next 3 to 5 years to build something so solid? Even if you skyrocket to 6 figures in your first year, would you be willing to let it grow and multiply and solidify over the next 3 to 5 years? Type yes in the chat. And I'm going to give you the foundation. So first, don't laugh at my artwork. And let me say this, everything I'm going to share today is for illustration purposes. Many of you are here from different companies, different industries, different backgrounds, different mindset, different skill set, different work ethic. And so what I'm going to share with you, there's no guarantee. This is for educational purposes, information purposes. There's no promises or guarantees. You still have to add work and stir. You still have to do your part. And so there's no guarantees here. But what I am going to give you is the exact blueprint that I ended up following that helped me make that transition from 0 to 500 to 1,000 a month to 500 to 1,000 plus per week to 6 figures and beyond. Is that fair? So first of all, some of you have no idea what this is, but let me give it a shot. Okay. Stop laughing at my fancy artwork. First of all, this is a file cabinet. This is a file cabinet, with the drawers and you store files. These are file folders, like those manila folders you open up to put folders in it. Oh, somebody knew what it was. See, okay, thank you. I feel so understood. I feel so seen right now. And then these are papers, files. The problem in this business is there are thousands of files. You can go to training after training. It says thousands on there. If you can't see my board, don't worry, I'll say it over and over again. But there's thousands of files, thousands of things you're going to learn that you can learn and get caught up in this business. Would you agree? How many already have experienced that, right? You can be all over the place learning thousands of different things. But wouldn't it be helpful if I can help you organize it? What I want to do is help you organize all of that information into a few simple files that matter. There are only a handful of fundamentals that matter. Jim Rohn said there's only about a half dozen fundamentals, no matter what you do. That's the number 6, about a half dozen fundamentals to anything. And all the files that you learn, by the time I'm done with you, my goal is for you to know what file to put that into. So when you go to a training and you hear something, you go, oh, okay, that goes into this folder. It's not 1,000 different things. That goes into folder number 1. Or that goes into folder number 2, folder number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. I want you to be crystal clear on where to organize the information, because as born CEOs, we don't do overwhelm by choice. We choose not to. When we feel overwhelmed, we dismiss it. No, thank you. Opt out, swipe left. We don't do overwhelm. And so we're to organize the information. Also, I want you to get to the point where your system is so solid that you don't leave here ever again looking for a system. I want you to have a rock solid system so that when you go to an event, when you hear from others, you're not looking like, oh my gosh, do I need to change my system? No, you don't change your foundation. You'll start being able to go, and when you hear somebody speak, instead of listening for a new system, you're just listening to their inspiration behind it. What was their mindset behind implementing that? What were the skills they developed to implement the same system? What's the work ethic they brought to that system? So that you're not spinning around in circles like I was with the idea of the month. Are y'all with me so far? And so this is going to help lay that foundation. But there's only 3 drawers that you need to have in place to build a rock solid business. Everything I learned that took me from 0 to 500 to 1,000 a month, to 500 to 1,000 a week, to 6 figures and beyond, falls under 3 categories. How many categories? Just 3, not 30, not 300, not 3,000. Only 3 categories, 3 parts of the system to get free. 3 parts to the system. And I'm going to share those with you. I call them the 3 cycles of wealth. The 3 cycles of wealth. All right. So no more confusion. No more overwhelm. No more searching for a new system. Simply applying a new mindset, new work ethic, new inspiration to the same system. Deal? Let's make a deal. I'll teach you how to lay a foundation that never changes. In good times, it never changes. In tough times, it never changes. When you have no momentum, it doesn't change. If you have momentum, it doesn't change. If you lose momentum and need to get it back again, it doesn't change. That's the kind of foundation I'm going to share with you, but you promise me you won't go running around with the idea of the month anymore. If you're with me, say deal. Write deal in the chat. All right, let's make a deal. All right, here we go. So the first cycle, I'm going to give you